UFC 315, Muhamod versus Della Madalena finished up a few hours ago, and I'm going to be reacting to the predictions that I made a few days ago, as well as breaking down every single fight in the card. We finished this one on a brilliant note. I love it. Now, these are the fights on the card that we're going to be breaking down. On top left is my prediction rate overall, and then my prediction rate for this card. And it's going to adjust as we go through the video and as we go through the fights. Starting off with the early prelim opener of Al-Makhachev versus Katona. Al-Makhachev, he was brilliant during this fight. Put him out within the first 2 minutes of the fight. I mean, listen, this man. Okay, so Katona would come in and he couldn't move in and out against Al-Makhachev. Every single time Katona moved in, Al-Makhachev moved in at the same time and caught him with something. So the momentum of both of them clashing together just was too much for Katona, and Al-Makhachev caught him with an uppercut, brilliantly timed uppercut, right up him, and just put him out cold in the first round. I said round 2 KO, but I mean, we'll take a round 1 KO, you know what I'm saying? Moving on, Santos versus Lee. I said Santos will get this done by just walking him down and not letting Lee keep his distance and just jab him on the feet, basically. That's what happened here. Now, Lee was kind of doing his thing in round number 1. But, and he sort of dropped in, but it was more of like a Santos slipped over, you know what I'm trying to say? And then, well, Santos started walking him down late round 1 and stings him within the last minute of the round and puts him down. And in my opinion, that wins in that round. But moving on, going to round number 2, he's looking a little bit like Ilia Topuria, okay? So he's moving, he's dipping, he's weaving, he's ripping. Good boxing combinations, mixing in the takedowns very well. We go into round number 3. He's Ian Gary Maxson. You know what I'm saying? He's playing it very safe. He's literally running away from Lee. But, I mean, he kind of ruined what could have been a fight of the night. But I had it 30-27 in my opinion. Could have been a 29-28. I got it right on my pick, so it doesn't really matter. Moving on. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Bruno Silva. Now that I know Bruno Silva is safe and okay, we can talk about this fight. Because, listen, at the time it looked scary because Bruno Silva, man, he took 2 elbows. I think one of them was perfectly placed to the temple. That man fell over and just didn't get up, okay? He was down for a solid 3 to 4 minutes before even moving. It was horrible. But I mean, Barrio, we got him in the clinch. He kind of pushed him back, hit him with a few elbows. Silva crumbled, and I mean, now that he's thank fuck he's okay. You know what I'm saying? It was a really, really bad knockout. But good win for Marc-Andre Barriault, I guess, in Canada. I said he would lose because he's Canadian, and they usually get smoked when they're in their own country, to be honest. Last time we had a Canadian event, every single guy who was Canadian on the card lost. So, you know what I'm saying? Usually when the fight night's taking place in the hometown of whoever's there, they just when we had it in Mexico, every single fighter who was Mexican on the card lost. Like in the Severe card, 306. In the London card, all the British fighters got smoked. You know what I'm saying? So good win for Barriault though. Moving on. Navio Sterling versus Ivan Erslan. I'm not impressed by Sterling. I'm telling you this right now. Decision with Taco Fatas, right? He then goes to Erslan. He takes this guy to a decision. Obviously, he almost had him out in round number 3. I said around 3 KO for Sterling. He almost had him out. Listen, you cannot be making it this close. 3 close rounds with Erslan is not, round 1 could have gone to Erslan, by the way, because he kept catching him with these big right hands over the top of his guard. Sterling's just throwing kicks, really. Terrible boxing. Looked slightly better on the ground. I was saying he was better on the ground, and then he just decides to... He did this thing where he tried to grab Erslan's back leg around his ankle. He pulled it towards him, and then he rolled over the top of his shoulder onto bottom position. He rolled himself forwards onto bottom position. That's not effective grappling. That's being a moron. But a good win for Sterling. I think he gets fraud checked. If he goes against anyone who is remotely competent on the feet, he gets fraud checked. But what can we say? What can we say? But I mean, I guess I wouldn't say it's a good win either. It's it's a decent win. You know what I mean? He drops him at the end though. He looked really bad, if we're going to be honest. Not impressed by this, or just like I wasn't impressed by the Tuco Tokas one, but I got it right in the end, so it doesn't really matter. Moving on. Mateus Bakauskas versus Uyan Kutalaba. This is why what is with the... Hang on a minute. Why does it say round 1 KO Frunze? You know what I'm saying? Ignore the prediction on the official. I said Bukowskis would get this done by round 1 KO. It went to a split decision. Now, this one was a close fight, and some people are screaming robbery. I thought Bukowskis won. Now, I thought Bukowskis won round 1 and round 3. One judge gave it 30-27. You can't give him the second round. And the other judge, although he gave him the same score as me of 29-28, he gave him the second and the third round, which doesn't make any sense either. I don't see you give Bukowskis the second round. There's an argument for round 1 and round 3 because he did more damage. I don't see. There's more of an argument for Kutalaba 3-0 than there is for Bukowskis winning that second round. It doesn't make any sense. But, judges are insane. I don't see how you give Bukowskis that second round. If I was Kutalaba, I'll be throwing hands, you know what I mean? More than I would have thrown hands in that fight. But, good win for Bukowskis. Probably gets a ranked opponent now. Ignore the fact that it says McKee and Frunza at the bottom. But, I picked Bukowskis to win. He won by decision. He also, in my opinion, he did win. It was a winnable scenario. There was 2 swing rounds, but you can't give him that second round, if we're going to be honest. Moving on. Jessica Andrade versus Jasmine Jukavius. Now, I said Jukavius would get this done by decision. Didn't really rate her finishing potential. She submitted Andrade in the first round. Fair enough. What are my notes in this fight? Did anything really happen? She looked all right on the feet, took her down, got her back straight away, kept looking for a rear naked choke, got it in the end. Yeah, not really much more I can say about that. Good win for Jukavius. Jeez, man. For Jasmine, we'll call her Jasmine, just so I don't butcher that last name. Moving on, Mike Malott versus Charles Radke. I said Mike Malott would win the first round before then gassing out slightly, just like he did in the Neil Magny fight, and then Charles Radke would TKO him inside the third round. Charles Radke got caught inside the second round and put out. So, I didn't see this one coming. Malott was landing better inside round number 1, clearly won round number 1. I don't know why I was so confident in Charles Radke, but, good win for Mike Malott. Probably gets fraud checked again by someone like Jeff Neal. But good win for Mike Malott, I guess. Moving on. Was it Benoit Saint Denis? Benoit Saint Denis. I said round 1 KO. I don't know why I was so confident that BSD would stand on the feet with this guy and not just shoot a takedown because Propelek has 0 takedown defense at all. We got to check this grappling, brother. He has awful takedown defense. My man was going for 2-on-1 hand wrist control while BSD was on the back. You know what I mean? It was, so BSD just started beating him in round number 2. Round number 1, BSD was just on the back for the entire round, looking for a rear naked choke. Couldn't get it. Little bit embarrassing there for BSD, if I'm going to be honest. But, he starts beating him round number 2. He does also get caught a few times, though, to be fair. He got caught 3 or 4 times by Propelek. You know what I'm little bit not a good look for BSD as a ranked lightweight opponent in the most prestigious company in MMA company in the world. You know what I'm trying to say? Wins by arm triangle round 2 though, sets it up perfectly, gets it done. Not really much more you can say about that other than the fact that BSD probably should have got this done inside round number 1, and the fact he got caught a few times by Propelek is a little bit embarrassing. But we'll let him off. It's on short notice, I guess. But you are a near 2-1 favourite, brother. You should be getting that shit done within the first round, ideally. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. I need to stop saying you know what I'm saying. Anyway, Grasso versus Silva. I was originally going to say Grasso. I changed it about a day before I made a prediction video for Silva. Silva's just much better on the feet. Obviously, it's a Zalal R performance. She was running a little bit, but she was decent output, staying at kicking range, not letting Grasso using her boxing against her. Landed a beautiful side kick to the head of Grasso at the end of the round number 1. Piecing her up a lot. In round number 3, she did cut her with a decent head kick that rattled Grasso's head. It's a clear 3-0 win for Silva. Give her a number 1. Probably give her a title shot after that, to be honest. What's that flyweight division? Yeah, so Shevchenko's next fight is going to be Silva. Most likely. She's going to be ranked number 1. I'll rate it. You know what I'm trying to say? I need to stop saying that. What am I doing? Moving on. This one's sad. I said Jose Aldo will win this. Jose Aldo versus Ariel Helwani. Now, see, Aldo was looking good on the feet. Round number one, good body shots, not many leg kicks coming out of Aldo, which is a little bit weird from Aldo, considering the fact that his leg kicks are so just crucial in this game. We had vintage featherweight Aldo in round number one. We go into round number two. It was a close round. I gave this one to Ziabi. Some people said Aldo won it. If Aldo's getting robbed every single fight, then it's kind of a case where, maybe it's the fact that Aldo isn't doing enough, not the fact that the judges hate him. You know what I mean? Like, if we saying, oh yeah, well Aldo got robbed against Marab. Oh yeah, Aldo got robbed against Mario Batista. Aldo got robbed against Zahabi. At some point, you got to say Aldo's doing something wrong. You know what I mean? And he has retired after this fight, which I'm not going to try and lay into him too much. He was terrible weight cut, gassed out in the third round. After he did drop Zahabi, to be fair to him. So he drops Zahabi with like a 1-2 and a knee. Zahabi goes to the other side of the octagon, up against the fence. Aldo comes up and just fucking soccer kicks him in the head. And Zahabi just takes it, takes a soccer kick straight to the face, apparently. And then he starts wobbling to the other side of the octagon, to the other side of the octagon. Aldo comes in with a knee, lands it again on Zahabi. He just eats it, recovers, gets back to his feet, and Aldo's looking at the clock, gassed out. And then Zahabi somehow rocks him. Aldo fails the takedown and then just falls onto bottom position. And Zahabi just jumps into his guard and starts raining down elbows to win the third round. Insane third round. I don't know. That was crazy to watch in real time. Unfortunate for Aldo because he's sat on bottom position. He's gassed. He's just looks like he's fallen asleep, and Zahabi's just cutting him open with elbows. So he won that third round. He also won the second round, in my opinion. In the second round, Aldo was working his jab, but Zahabi was landing his jab. So there was a difference. Aldo was like chucking it out, but he wasn't really landing it, and Zahabi was chucking it out, but he was landing it. So that's what won in the second round, in my opinion. Just a case of he landed more and got hit less, which is why he won that round. Obviously, I don't know why I need to explain that. But no, sad to see Aldo go, but good win for Zahabi. I mean, Aldo also weighed a lot more going into this fight, but had a harder weight cut, so it's kind of like, evens out. Moving on, Shevchenko versus Freerot. I said Shevchenko would win, and she did win. She went on to win. She went on to win by unanimous decision. I had her winning this fight. I mean, up until the fifth round, and then I kind of just lost interest, and my brain wandered off somewhere else because, well, it was quite a boring fight. It was quite a predictable fight. The rounds went exactly the same. It would be, they both come out, Shevchenko would like stand still for a little bit and then hit Freerot with a jab as she's coming in. Then Freerot would back off, throw a side kick to the head of Shevchenko. Shevchenko would then throw a jab, and then eventually they would go up against the fence and Freerot would start kneeing her in the thigh, and then they would separate, and then Shevchenko would shoot a takedown. The exact same thing happened over the course of 5 rounds. Basically just that. Shevchenko started throwing, some wheel kicks and dropped Freerot inside the fourth round, the end of the fourth. Other than that, pretty boring fight. Not really much happened other than maybe Shevchenko dropping Freerot late, but it was too late in the round for it to really be too impactful. Shevchenko would have won the round anyway. So, you know what I'm trying to say. Round number 5, Shevchenko won. I went 8-3 on picks at this current point. Moving on to the main event. Belal Muhamod versus Jack Della Madalena, lad. Oh, I don't know why I went scouts for a guy's Australian. This was fantastic, bro. In real time, I'm watching JDM piece Belal Muhamod up on the feet. I'm going, yes. Belal Muhamod shoots a takedown in round number 1. He doesn't get it. JDM stuffs pretty much all of his takedowns going into round, like all the way up until round number 5. We go into round number 2. All right, JDM lands more. He's starting to get into a little bit of a flow state. Jab, move, jab, slip, jab, move. Just flow state, just pure boxing elegance out of Jack Della Madalena. Just pure aura from the boys. The boys are back in town, bro. Belal needs a finish going into the 4th round. Belal's never got a finish. He has, but you know what I'm trying to say. We go into round number 4. 0-6 on takedowns. Belal Muhamod. Oh, I think he was 1-7 actually. Never mind. But he starts working against the fence. He wins round number 4. I think. I believe it was round number 4 that. Which one was that I gave to Belal? Yeah, round number 4 I gave to Belal Muhamod. He actually started landing some decent strikes on JDM. We go into round number 5 though. Belal lands a takedown. JDM goes back up and just starts ripping him and rocking him and sending him across the cage. Man, this was amazing to watch. Probably one of the, I don't want to say one of the best feelings. That sounds really bad, but it was a amazing fight card. What a way to end this fight card. JDM just rocking and piecing up Belal Muhammad. I obviously said round 2 KO, but it was a decision for JDM. You almost had him out at the end, but you know, JDM's the champ, bro. I love it. This card came 6th in terms of overall ranking, joint 5th with Cejudo and Song, but finished it with a 72% prediction rate overall. We're edging our way through, to 80%, which is what we want to end the year on. Obviously, we could probably shoot for 85, depending how good we're going, but it's a little bit hard to get 85 average, though, if you look, I've only ever got above 80% once, and that was at 309, where I had 5 predictions. What am I talking about? 3 times. 83% Moreno Usyk, that was good, and then 100% on 308, but I only made 5 predictions for that one, so I don't know. We'll see. We're slowly closing in on it. But if you did go into enjoy this video, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.